I've always loved things that look like magic but are actually real.
Well, it's Liam Crowley with ScreenRant. Mr. Blaine, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Nice to meet you. How you doing, Liam?
I'm fantastic. I've been doing a deep dive on all things David Blaine, getting ready for this interview. You are an extraordinary man, my friend, and it seems like you're really testing your limits in this show, especially that being Do Not Attempt. I have to ask, after doing this stuff on a televised format for nearly 3 decades now, how do you still have that spark?
I mean, how am I physically still even able to walk at this point?
That's another good question, yeah.
Well, I mean, the exciting part for me is constantly learning, and learning from these incredible people around the world has been a dream come true. But I do have to say, it's definitely different now. Like you feel the impact of each thing in an entirely different way. So I think the mental part of it has become stronger on some level, but the physical part has become much weaker, which makes everything much more difficult to do, by the way.
Yeah, you had a quote in an interview previously that I heard that I feel like kind of answers that question as well, where you said that comfort puts a damper on being creative. And so I feel like that is something that you've always lived your life by, especially when pushing yourself to these death-defying limits. But I'm curious about that quote, comfort puts a damper on being creative. How does that impact also just your personal life?
Well, I mean, I think it's actually beneficial, because I think if not, I would just sit on my couch all day and do nothing. So I feel like getting out there and doing things that you're uncomfortable doing is the greatest learning curve. So anywhere that I am, I'm always doing magic. I'm always going into extreme environments to perform magic. And on this series specifically, finding these incredible people from all different parts of the world and breaking my comfort zone in the most extreme way to learn a little bit of what they do. But the learning curve is so fast as well. Normally I have a year or 2 or 3 to train and learn one skill, and then I show the end result of that. But on this, it's the opposite. It's like I'm the audience watching these incredible people doing these amazing talents that they've worked on for thousands of hours. So when I see it, it feels like magic, and then getting a crash course on how to do them. And I think I'm basically running around screaming, reacting, uncomfortable. So it's something I've never really shared ever on any of my shows. They're always me as a magician, and this is almost like me as the spectator.
Yeah, you touched on some of the things I wanted to talk about with my next question, that being the fact that Do Not Attempt is almost a different side of David Blaine here, despite the fact that, so much of the stuff you're putting yourself through is to the level that we're used to seeing on previous scales, being locked inside the glass box, being buried alive, being trapped underwater, stuff like that. How does Do Not Attempt differ from the David Blaine that we're used to seeing?
So here's the one thing I can say is the people that really know me, that have seen the episodes along the way, because I'm always showing little pieces. I'm like, oh, I'm so embarrassed here. Like, I can't. They're like, no, that's the stuff that they like. So the people that know me, that are close to me, they like those moments that I always cut and don't put on air. So I had a team, imagine, and they were in charge for the first time. I didn't control every little bit of what happened. So that was something different than what I'm used to completely. So it is giving that side of me that I think I try to often not show. I like the magician character that's more, monotone and letting the audience react, but instead I'm the person reacting, running, screaming. There's so many scenes where I'm like crying. I'm watching Inca fly in the air like a hummingbird in the Arctic Circle, and watching her in this incredible environment overall, just white everywhere, just the everything below, all snow cover, and just watching her do the dance. I was crying. I was actually in the air. You can't see it. And there's so many moments when I saw the anaconda right in front of me. We searched for days on end, and finally, it's a side that I'm so lucky I was able to experience.
When it came to some of the tasks that you were undertaking throughout this series, obviously stuff that's highlighted in the trailer, getting set on fire and jumping into water, being buried in bees and scorpions and all that, was there anything that you went into anticipating a very different outcome than what ended up actually happening?
I mean, I think everything was a different outcome because everything was put together on the fly. So we had, this was 3 years. We had an incredible research team for a year. We were all working together with magicians and researchers and the people to imagine, finding all these incredible feats, performers, places. And my one request was, I said, whatever you present to me, make sure that you're uncomfortable even mentioning the idea. It should make you feel on the edge of your seat just saying it. So that was kind of the one, parameter that I gave. But then what happened was we started to meet these incredible people, and the time was short. But the ideas would evolve. It's the off-camera stuff that you don't see, where we're brainstorming, we're playing, we're in the Arctic Circle, going under the ice, and then Miro says, "Wait a second, the ice freezes very quickly. What if that hole freezes over and you have to break out?" I'm like, "What? That's amazing!" So lots of the things were like. By the way, it broke my knuckles on breaking through that ice. It hasn't recovered yet. So there's lots of things that they changed, they tweaked, and I do wish we had much more time in each place, because I think the ideas would have. But it was amazing. And again, this is about highlighting how incredible these people are and finding what the magic within what they've spent thousands of hours working on to make these things flawless. So, yeah.
But something that took me by surprise, and correct me if I'm wrong here, when I was going through your IMDb and wiki, you have no feature film roles?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Have you ever been
I don't know, but even just this series is like the first time that I've given up control. Normally, I shoot for about 2 years to make 44 minutes of television. So I shoot for years and I get rid of everything that's the stuff that's in this series, all those moments, and I just find the magic and the reaction. So I think having very little control, this is the first time that I've done that, and I actually loved the process. I loved working with an amazing team and having incredible DPs and having I've worked with great direct like Matthew Akers, who helped come up with the idea for this when we were shooting Real or Magic. I was in Africa. I was in Liberia specifically learning how to do the human fire hydrant from somebody that we saw on YouTube. And Matthew said, this would be amazing to actually show this part, highlight these people that have these amazing skills that don't even consider themselves magicians, and show that part of the learning process, your awkward phase. And so that was kind of the beginning of the inspiration for this idea.
David, before we get out of here, I did bring my playing cards. How good are you at magic through a Zoom screen?
Let me see. Can you open the box, shuffle the cards? Do you know how to shuffle all that?
These have been shuffled.
Really? All right, yeah, good. Put the deck on the table.
Okay, should I tilt down the screen?
Yeah, tilt the screen down. That's right.
Okay.
Let's try this. Let me see if I have cards as well.
Do I? Can I? All right, I'll get low so my face is still showing.
Okay, good. Do this for me. Take a few cards in the middle, put them on top. Take a few, slide them out, put them on. A couple? Yeah.
All right.
Good. That's a lot, but okay, that's fine. Slide the deck onto your hand just like that, face down. Hold it on your hand, face down.
Yep.
Good. And you could even take 2 from the top, put them in the middle. Take 2 cards from the top, slide them in the middle. Slide them right in the middle. You can look at the deck while you're doing it. Look at the deck while you're doing it. Yeah. Good. Take 3 cards from the bottom and put them on top. Say take 3 cards from the bottom, put them on top.
Yeah.
Is that 3?
That's 3.
Okay, take 2 cards from the middle, 2 cards in the middle, and put them on bottom. 2 cards in the middle, just 2, and slide them right to the bottom. Yeah, good.
Slide on the bottom, yeah.
Okay, good. Now, can you cut the deck in half and leave the top half on the table? Yeah, cut it in half, yeah. Good. And then actually turn the other one crisscross, put it on top. Yeah, like that. Great.
Okay.
Good. And you would say that's pretty fair, correct?
I would say so. I followed all the rules.
Okay, so I'm going to run through the cards. I want you to try to see one inside, okay? So I'm going to run through the deck and you just try to see one. Yes?
Okay. Yes. Okay,
here, let me just do like this. Okay, so here, I'm going to go through and you're just going to try to see a card from inside, okay? Here.
Yeah.
You thought of one?
Well, I saw one that also.
Okay, good. Great. The top half or bottom half? take which one to the side? Which one?
Top half.
Okay, so take it to the side. Good.
Yeah.
Great. And now, no, you can move it all the way up.
Okay.
Great. Say number between 1 and 5.
3.
Take the third card, but don't look at it. Take the third card, don't look at it.
Third card from the top?
Yeah, and hide it against your heart, but don't look at it. Don't look at it. Hide it, put it against your heart.
Yeah.
What was the card that you thought of?
8 of diamonds?
The ace of diamonds?
8 of diamonds.
8 of diamonds.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So these are the
Oh my goodness, how do you do it?
we've worked on forever. So these are little simple things.
Oh my God, David Blaine. Oh my goodness.
What's the best thing I've been playing with here? So
my face is beet red right now.
these are the kind of things that you get excited about as a magician. So here, you see, these are little things that you just play with as a magician.
What the hell? What's happening?
Yeah, these are the things that I love doing. But
oh my God. I can see the face as it's spinning so fast. David, I know we just went overtime there. I'm at a loss for words. You just blew my mind. This is the greatest virtual interview I've ever done. But for real though, David Blaine, Do Not Attempt. It's coming to National Geographic on March 23rd, streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu the very next day. God, I'm at a loss for words right now. You just blew my mind.
Yeah, but everything is logical and everything is based on given pieces of information. So, and that's the one thing about this series is the same thing. It's all people that have worked on things. The skills are very straightforward. They're very simple. They should not be reproduced by anybody because they are dangerous, but it's all logical. Like it's all, you can explain everything and it's just for those performers, those people, those conservationists, people like that, they've put those thousands of hours into what they're doing, or the secrets were passed down. They were protected and guarded, but passed down for generations. And everything was done with an incredible safety team around. And I trusted the masters and I listened carefully. So, but anyway, my point is everything is as simple as a card trick as far as just the bits of information, the work, the repetition. That's pretty much what drove all of it. But thank you. It was nice to meet you.
He's a modest magician. What can we say? David, thank you so much for your time. Truly an honor.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.